Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Monday, January 27th, 2020. Alright, so today we have still a bit going on astrologically, coming off of that new moon from last Friday. So still a time of new beginnings and good to slowly build some momentum beginning this lunar month. So with this, we have Venus passing over Neptune in Aquarius. So maybe some new beginnings in terms of our enjoyments of the receptive aspects of life, or the receptive aspects of our relationships could also be a new beginning with as well. But since Venus has been squaring up to Mars since yesterday, we do have Mars starting to square up to Neptune today as well. So in this case, there might be some maybe lower energy, or maybe feeling a bit discouraged, or more of that deep water energy when we are trying to take action or pursue our needs or desires. And so in this way, really good to channel this into constructive receptive things, like maybe spiritual activities, or maybe build upon some dreams or ideals, and potentially maybe channel that into things like compassion and understanding and healthy receptivity in those relationships. All right, so other than this, we have the moon well set in Aquarius, so the backdrop is likely around the future ideals, and a bit of that progressive energy. So let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky for this Monday. And again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called True Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the moon's placement here, because we are coming off of that new moon from last Friday. And so we're still in the very early phase of the lunar month, and good to maybe start to build some momentum, maybe implement some new things that have come to our awareness, or we've maybe started to want to implement since around Friday. The larger context is still that around Capricorn, which is about climbing that mountain. It's about developing things like patience and discipline, right? And so cultivating things that do require that long-term patient and disciplined approach to things is great for the larger context. With that being said, today, however, is definitely activating Aquarius with the moon here, and also this Venus-Neptune conjunction we'll talk about. So with the moon, the theme is likely around the future. Aquarius is the very progressive side of ourselves. So it could be a good day of cultivating our future ideals, or maybe things involving shared visions with others. So collective matters, friends, community, world matters, global matters. Really good to get into that progressive, forward thinking and innovative side of ourselves here with the moon in Aquarius. So in terms of the aspects, we do have quite a bit going on, but it's really just one aspect, you could say. And this is that Venus has been squaring up to Mars since yesterday. And so in this case, Venus is going to be passing over Neptune, which means Mars is going to be squaring up to Neptune. So in this case, from yesterday, if you did feel any sort of needing some integration with the masculine and feminine aspects of life, where it was important to have both some intention with healthy directness and assertiveness, yet also have healthy receptivity, understanding, tactfulness, right? The balance between the yin and yang. That is getting activated today, but in a more Neptunian sense. We have Venus passing over Neptune. Neptune rules the deeper oceans of life. And in this case, maybe some new things emerging in terms of what we enjoy and value about the deeper oceanic energies of life. So maybe a new beginning with some dreams, some ideals, maybe in relationships, a bit of that compassion or peacefulness or receptivity in them. Really good day for imagination, in fact, once these planets get together, because they're both very creative planets in and of themselves. So really good for creativity, imagination, of course, spirituality, which is the primary emphasis of Neptune. How can we bring in more peace into our life, right? More receptivity, but enjoy this stuff. Venus does rule our enjoyments. It also rules relationships and our values. So really good to incorporate some of that deep water energy with those enjoyments and connections. And we could even maybe notice some new things emerging in this sector as well. Now, with that being said, though, as we go into tomorrow, that Mars will then start to square up to that Neptune. And so in this case, as the day unfolds, we may feel, although enjoying it on one level, maybe it's a little more challenging to integrate that deep water energy when it comes specifically to our needs and desires, right? So Mars is the side of ourself that wants things now and is our more immediate needs. But in this case, Neptune kind of blurs those lines, or you could say it's kind of like swimming in the ethers when it comes to taking action and asserting ourselves. So sometimes with this, it can feel a little bit apathetic, sometimes distracted, or a little bit of lower energy collectively speaking. But it is very constructive to be channeled into Neptunian things. Again, maybe some of these dreams and ideals, especially with, again, Neptune and Venus in Aquarius, which rules the future. Maybe building some of those future dreams could be a good way of working with this. Again, spiritual activities definitely very benefited by this, especially if they are active in some sense with Mars, right? So sometimes exercising can be meditative, for example, or spiritual activities like yoga that involve our bodies and movements can also be quite supportive. But anything that does link up essentially the fire side of ourself, the active and the receptive, right? And understanding and living presently and accepting side of ourselves. So the fire and water. And so any intentions you can set to incorporate both of these would be a great way of working with this energy going into tomorrow. However, today, the most important thing we'll probably feel is this conjunction, which is on the easier side. Venus and Neptune harmonize very well with each other. Again, both very creative planets. It's about enjoying seeing the value of these deeper things that are important to us on a soul level. Could be relationships, could be values, sometimes resources, something new starting to emerge here where we are starting to see the deeper meaning of it, or something that could be a sort of dream or ideal, or creative or spiritual starting to emerge today. All right, everyone. So that's the day in a nutshell. Most important things here is involving that Venus-Mars energy. But again, the theme is around the future. So anything that does involve that progressive, innovative, forward-thinking side of ourselves, really good to develop, especially in the context of whatever new is starting to emerge since last Friday's new moon. All right. So everyone, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast. Take care.